My sister and I share one body, 20 years now. She takes up the left side, controlling most of the body's functions. I'm crammed on the right, like a tumor growing on a perfect gem. My sister Yunlei is absolutely stunning, like a peony in full bloom. Me? I never got enough nutrients, so my complexion always looks like a corpse, pale and lifeless. To hide my ugly half, my sister always wore big, heavy, baggy clothes. To everyone else, she just looked like some hunchbacked, strange woman. One day we were out gathering herbs at the base of Severed Head Cliff. Our giant cloak covered every inch of our weird, lumpy body. From a distance, we looked like some deformed, hunchbacked peasant woman. She, stop moving, someone's coming this way. My sister kept her voice low, with a barely noticeable tremor in it. A faint cry for help came from somewhere in the rocks. My sister pushed through the weeds and found an injured man, his robe torn to shreds, covered in blood, collapsed in a crevice, his leg bent at a horrifying angle. Sister, don't get involved, let's just go. I said it cold and flat, but my sister just stood there, frozen. She was staring at Ningboan, her hand drifting up to touch her own cheek, the one thing she'd always been proud of. Just then, Ningboan struggled to open his eyes. He saw the two heads side by side under the cloak. I figured he'd scream, or call us monsters and freaks. But instead, he just stretched out his bloodied, trembling hand, grabbed the tips of my sister's fingers, and looked at her with the most desperate, fragile eyes. Please, save me. My sister's whole body locked up. That was the first time in 20 years a man had looked at her with that kind of longing. Under enormous pressure, she dragged Ningboan back to the cave where we lived in hiding. This dark little cave was supposed to be our hideaway from the world, but suddenly with a man inside, it actually felt like a home. My sister went absolutely crazy, trekking into the mountains day and night just to find herbs to brew Ningboan a bone-mending remedy. She ignored my protests and climbed barehanded up thorny cliff faces. Her left hand got sliced open and bleeding, and since we share a body, I felt every bit of it. I couldn't sleep through the pain at night. I just watched her in the faint moonlight, carefully wiping the cold sweat from Ningboan's forehead while he lay unconscious. Is it worth it, sis? You wouldn't understand. There was a light in my sister's eyes I'd never seen before, the kind of poison called hope. He woke up once today. He asked my name. He said, Lair. That name sounds just like flowers in spring. He's just flattering you. Right now he's useless. He needs us to survive. I called it out without mercy. My sister's hand paused for a second, then she just quietly laughed. Even if it's flattery, I'll take it. Half a month later, Ningboan was on his feet. He didn't do what I expected, bolt the second he was healed or look at us with disgust. No, he was way too perfect, like a dream someone had carefully crafted. He was a scholar, a down-on-his-luck nobleman's son. He'd sit at the cave entrance and play beautiful melodies on a leaf. He'd tell my sister about lavish wedding processions beyond the mountains, about the splendor of the capital. He'd even help her comb her hair. But the thing that scared me most was how he treated me. He didn't ignore me. He didn't show fear either. Whenever he looked at us, his gaze would land perfectly on my sister's half, soft and tender. But when it had to pass over my side, he'd show just the right amount of gentle pity and courtesy, like I wasn't a monster, but a sick person who just needed a little compassion. Ningboan sat in the setting sun, holding a freshly carved wooden hairpin. He slid it gently into my sister's hair, then gave me a slight nod. Miss Yunxi, you're looking better today. This illusion of being treated like a real person. It didn't just swallow my sister whole, it even made me waver sometimes. Could someone like this actually exist? Someone who truly doesn't judge by looks? Boan, your leg still isn't fully healed, don't sit too long. It's fine. Getting to be here with you two, every moment is worth it. My sister ducked her head, blushing. Ningboan smiled gently and took her hand. Lair, once my leg heals, let me take you out of these mountains. Out of the mountains? But me and my sister like this. We'll find a way. Ningboan's eyes suddenly went deep. He looked at my sister, his fingertips lightly tracing the area over our chests, where two hearts beat pressed right up against each other. My family has a medical text with an ancient method passed down through generations. It might be able to cure you both. My sister nearly jumped out of her skin with excitement. Really? You mean she can get better, or that we can actually separate? Ningboan didn't answer right away. He just stared deeply at my sister. That look held way too much. Love, conflict, and something buried deep down that felt disturbingly like obsession. Lair, if you could separate, what would you want to do? I want to marry you clean and proper. It slipped right out of her mouth. She immediately buried her face into her chest from embarrassment. Ningboan smiled and reached out, pulling my sister into his arms. My face was forced against his firm chest. I could hear his steady, strong heartbeat. He whispered something close to my sister's ear. I want you to belong to me, completely, whole, just you. My sister was drowning in happiness. She didn't catch what that actually meant, but I did. That wasn't a lover's heartbeat. That was a hunter's pulse, barely contained excitement at watching the prey walk into the trap. That night, Ningboan offered for the first time to brew medicine for us himself. This regulates the blood and qi. Drink this for 49 days straight, and your body will reach its best condition. Only then can the treatment be performed. He held out the bowl, his smile warm and refined. I stared at that pitch-black liquid, then looked at my sister's blissfully happy face, and the unease in my gut grew like weeds out of control. Ningboan had been living in the cave for almost a month. In that time, my sister and I had burned through almost all our food supplies, keeping him fed. Winter was closing in, and the weather at Severed Head Cliff was unpredictable. Then one day, a violent storm mixed with hail hit with no warning. Rainwater flooded into the cave, rising up to our ankles. "We can't stay here. We need to get to higher ground." My sister was panicking. She tried to carry Ningbo-an, but our body was already heavy and bulky. Add the muddy, slippery terrain, and there was no way we could haul a grown man. "Don't worry about me, just go." Ningbo-an pushed my sister's hands away and leaned pale-faced against the soaked stone wall. "My leg's no good. I'm just a burden. Lair, take Cece and go." "I'm not leaving. If we die together." My sister screamed and cried, clinging to his sleeve. I watched this whole dramatic scene completely dead inside. Enough with the theatrics. If we don't move now, we're all drowning in here. Hold him up. Just take it slow. We barely managed to get Ningbo-an out of the cave. But outside was even worse. Wind howling, rain pouring, the mountain path slick as ice. Then, as we squeezed through a narrow stretch of trail, it happened. The mud above gave way from the rain, and massive chunks of rock came crashing down through the mud. We froze in place. A sharp boulder was heading straight for my head, the right side of our body. A white blur lunged at me. A heavy thud exploded right next to my ear. No blinding pain like I expected, just a splash of warm liquid hitting my face. I opened my eyes in shock. Ningbo-an was draped over me, his not-so-broad back having taken the full force of that boulder. My sister was completely frozen. Ningbo-an was white as a sheet, drenched in cold sweat. He didn't look at my sister. He looked at me. "Miss Chichi, are you hurt? Lair told me you hate pain the most." My mind went blank. For 20 years, every danger was handled by my sister, or we faced it together. Never once, not a single person, especially not a man, had ever put their life on the line to protect this deformed, ugly half of a body. He didn't save my sister. He saved me. The one who'd been cold and cutting toward him this whole time. The one who'd been watching his every move. Yunshi. I opened my mouth, but it felt like my throat was stuffed with cotton. Not one harsh word would come out. Ningbo-an was badly hurt. Old injuries plus new ones sent him into a high fever. We found a rundown temple higher up and took shelter. My sister kept watch by the fire, drying his soaked clothes. And for once, I didn't say a word. "Chichi, he's a good person, right? He just saved you." I stayed quiet for a long time, then finally let out a soft, Maybe I was wrong about him. Maybe he really is just some hopelessly romantic bookworm. And because he loves my sister, he wanted to protect me too. Late that night, Ningbo-an woke up.